The special election is now over in Austin, and a few of those props that were expected to pass, they got the support that was anticipated, but there were some surprises on the ballot as well. Now, joining us now to talk about this with us is Brian Smith, a political expert and professor at St. Edward's University. Brian, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, let's talk about Prop B. That's probably the one most people have heard about, most people are talking about. It's a very controversial issue. That's the homeless camping ban. Now that that has passed, what happens next when it comes to this homeless issue? I mean, does this go into effect starting tomorrow? I don't know if you're able to answer that, but what does this mean now going forward?
What will end up happening is the city will have to certify the election, and then almost instantly after certification, it will then go into effect. And it is not a difficult law to enforce because, as we know, this is a reset of a previous policy. So it will be easy to implement, and also because it doesn't require a lot of additional resources, something that'll start seeing immediate results.
Now let's jump over to Prop F, the strong mayor. This was another one that got discussed a lot ahead of the special election, but it got more or less crushed. Why do you think that was?
It got crushed for a few reasons, and one, this was a solution in search of a problem. I don't think a lot of people in Austin saw the current system as being very flawed. I think people also looked at how the quality of the mayor could really shape future governance, and we said sometimes the devil you know is better than the one you don't. And until the current system starts failing, I don't think we're going to switch away from it. So Spencer Cronk is obviously the most happy person because he keeps his job.
Now, in a similar vein, the prop that would add an 11th council member to the city of Austin, that one also failed. Does this kind of go along with how people were feeling about the strong mayor system?
Right. One of the reasons this was put on the ballot was because if we went to a strong mayor, then you could have the potential for a tie in city council. But again, the 10-1 proposition that we passed a few years back, it isn't that old. And people said, you know, more representation is good, but we're kind of happy with the status quo. So they didn't see a real need to add an 11th seat, especially because we have so few deadlocks or even close votes on city council now.
Now, one of the props that caught my attention was the ranked voting prop, Prop E. Can you talk a little bit about that and what that kind of looks like, kind of an interesting idea?
Right. This is really an idea. This is a wish list. This is more of a beauty contest vote in the sense it doesn't carry a lot of weight as opposed to something that would be law. Because right now in the state of Texas, you're not allowed to have ranked choice voting. So this passed, but it really didn't pass unless the state decides to allow this. But the advantage of ranked choice, obviously, is you would know that day who the candidate winner is. You wouldn't have to worry about the expensive runoff with low turnout. It also encourages sometimes more participation because if your first choice doesn't win, you still have a say with your second or third choice. So in that sense, it's a great idea for supporters, but it's not going to carry the effect of law until the state of Texas allows it to happen.
All right. And lastly, any props that maybe the results surprised you or any that you want to talk about?
Well, I think the propositions, it looked like we were going to have a clean sweep. The first 5 passed and the last 3 didn't. I think people looked and said, we're very happy with the way that the city works right now. We don't need the radical shift for a strong mayor, nor are we unhappy with the way that elections are financed. So that democracy dollars one failed. The other interesting thing was the high turnout. The Proposition B really drove turnout, and we say high turnout, 20% really in Travis County, Texas, but in a mid-year, off-year, non-presidential election, that's incredibly high turnout. So you look 20% low, not really. It's very high turnout given all the circumstances, and anytime you get better turnout, it's good for the city.
That's interesting and good to hear, I think. I talked to the Travis County clerk yesterday, and she was a little bit disappointed in that number, but you're saying that's good for this time of year.
Right, because you think we just had a presidential election. We don't have any real candidates on the ballot, any Senate, House, anything else except these propositions. And of course, the Travis County clerk wants high turnout because turnout is good. But in this case, 20% is one of the highest turnouts that we've had since the 1990s. So we should be happy with it. And it means that the voters have spoken, not just a small group of people who often votes in these mid-year elections.
Well, that's encouraging to hear, Brian. Thank you so much for talking with us this evening. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me.